In this podcast, I'm going to review cell-mediated immunity, and in a second podcast, I'll go over antibody-mediated immunity. Now understand that this is pretty basic. I know it seems complicated, but I'm trying to keep it simple because I know it's the first time you've learned it, and I just want you to understand some of the basic concepts about different types of immunity, cell-mediated and antibody-mediated immunity. So again, we're going over cell-mediated immunity, which basically is how the body is going to attack viruses. Now let's review. Viruses, remember, have to kind of knock on the door, and knock, 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 and let the cell let it in, and then it takes over its DNA, and that cell starts producing large amounts of this virus. Well, the cell has to have a way to signal the immune system that it's been attacked by this virus. So what it will do is we'll take a piece of the virus and it will put it on its MHC protein, in this case an MHC1. So the cell takes a part of that virus and exposes it to the outside. Now the immune system can see that that cell has been attacked by a virus. So that's part one. What's then going to happen is the body has to find the correctly fitting helper T and the correctly fitting cytotoxic T cell in order to induce this part of the immune system to function. Now what do I mean by the correct one? It has to be the one with the correctly fitting T cell receptor. Remember, there are thousands of helper T cells, like one of each, that each have different T cell receptor shapes. So the body, and it takes time, has to find the correctly fitting helper T cell. So we have to find the correctly fitting helper T cell, and we also have to find the correctly fitting cytotoxic T. And the same concepts exist with the cytotoxic T, that we have a bunch of them, one of each of them, with all different shaped T cell receptors. It takes time to find the correctly fitting cytotoxic T cell. Cytotoxic T is also called a CD8 cell, and just down here a helper T cell is also called a CD4. Now once the body finds the right helper T that matches with this virus and finds the right cytotoxic T that matches with the virus, then what will happen is these two cells will co-stimulate each other with chemicals called cytokines. So again, you have to have both of these. They find the right helper, the right cytotoxic, they co-stimulate each other, and what that does is it then stimulates this correctly fitting cytotoxic T cell to go through mitosis, and now it will make thousands of itself. So here you've got all these cytotoxic T cells that are replicas of this cytotoxic T, and what they will do is, it says here, they will go and they will kill these cells that have been infected by the virus. So yes, these cells will be killed, but by killing the cells, we also kill the virus. We also kill the virus. So why you get a sore throat, for example, is because cytotoxic T cells are killing your throat cells to get rid of the virus. Now your throat cells will go through mitosis and replace themselves, which is why the sore throat goes away. So these cytotoxic T cells are responsible for going after the cells that have been infected by the virus. A second thing that happens is we get what are called memory T cells. Now these memory T cells will just hang out in the body, and they can exist for years. And the amount and the strength of them is going to differ from person to person. But this is why you don't get, let's say for example, the chicken pox twice. Because you've got these memory T cells that are floating around in your bloodstream. Now the next time you get infected by the same virus, let's say the chickenpox virus, the next time you get infected by them, your body doesn't have to go through finding the right helper T or finding the right cytotoxic T. These memory T cells will identify it quickly, start going through mitosis, produce cytotoxic T cells, and go after any cells that have been infected by that virus many times before you even know you were sick. So again, these memory T cells are kind of hanging out. They're hanging out, and if you're attacked by the same virus, they will almost immediately go through mitosis, become cytotoxic T cells, and destroy the cells that have been infected by the virus, in many cases before you even know that you've been infected. So some people do get chickenpox twice. That can be because they didn't form enough memory T cells. It could be that it's been such a long time since they've had chickenpox that they don't have enough memory T cells left. If they do get it a second time, it's usually a much less severe case, because again, those memory T cells will go in, become cytotoxic T, and try to take care of the infection. There's also another type of T cell called a regulatory T cell. There's still a lot of research being done on these, but basically, once the infection is gone, this process has to stop. We have to stop the cytotoxic T cells, we have to stop mitosis, we have to stop the process of producing them. So what regulatory T cells do is they kind of say, okay, the infection's under control, it's gone, so let's stop the process of producing cytotoxic T cells. So they're called regulatory T cells. And again, there's still a lot of research being done on the role that they play. Okay. So again, infected by a virus, put that virus, a piece of it, on an MHC protein. Find the correct helper T, the one that fits, the correct cytotoxic T, the one that fits. Once that happens, co-stimulation with cytokines causes cytotoxic T to go through mitosis. These cells will then destroy the cells that have been attacked by the virus, which will then kill the virus. And what we're left with is memory T cells, which again, the second time you're exposed by the same virus, they will go through mitosis almost immediately, become cytotoxic T cells, and destroy any cells that have been infected by the virus, usually before you even know you've been infected a second time.